One of the heaviest burdens we carry is the belief that we should be further ahead than we are. Hey beautiful souls, and welcome to Gentle Truths with Delia, a space where we pause, reflect, and realign one truth at a time. Over the past 2 weeks, we've returned to ourselves. We've protected our peace, and now we explore something many of us struggle with: timing. Because sometimes the greatest source of stress is the belief that we should be further ahead. We live in a world that celebrates speed, more, faster, sooner. And if we're not careful, we begin measuring our lives against timelines that were never ours. We compare our progress, we compare our healing, we compare our success, even our relationships. And slowly we start believing we're behind. But growth doesn't happen on a schedule, and healing doesn't follow a deadline. Purpose cannot be rushed. This week is an invitation to trust your own rhythm, to honor your season, and to remember that what is meant for you is not running late. It's easy to look around and feel like everyone else is moving faster, building more, achieving more, becoming more. And before long, you begin to question your own journey. But life was never meant to be a race. Your path is your own. And just because your story is unfolding differently, it doesn't mean it's unfolding incorrectly. Your journey is not running late. It's unfolding in its own time. We trust the seasons of nature. We don't question why winter takes time or why a seed doesn't bloom the day it's planted. We understand that growth happens beneath the surface, long before it becomes visible. Perhaps your life is asking for the same trust. Perhaps what feels delayed is actually being prepared. Comparison has a way of making us forget. Forget how much we've healed, how much we've learned, how much we've even overcome. It pulls our attention away from our own journey and places it on someone else's. But someone else's chapter was never meant to become your measuring stick. Pause for a moment and honor how far you've already come. Some things take longer because they're growing deeper. Not all growth is visible. Some growth happens quietly, in the choices nobody sees, in the healing that nobody applauds, in the lessons that take time to settle into wisdom. The deepest roots often grow in silence, and the strongest foundations are built slowly. Trust what is happening beneath the surface. We often want certainty before we move. We want the full picture, the guarantees, the reassurance. But life rarely works that way. Sometimes the next step only becomes visible after we've taken the one in front of us. Trust is not having all the answers. Trust is continuing anyway. There is so much pressure to hurry, to catch up, to keep pushing. But your worth is not measured by your speed. You're allowed to pause. You're allowed to rest. You're allowed to move at a pace that honors your well-being, because sustainable growth is still growth. Your path does not need to look like theirs. Your life was never meant to be a copy of someone else's. Your experiences, your lessons, your purpose, they are uniquely yours. And the moment you stop measuring yourself against others, you create space to fully become yourself. That is where freedom begins. Repeat this week's affirmations gently to yourself. I trust the timing of my life. I release comparison. I honor my own pace. What is meant for me is unfolding. Take the one you need most and carry it into the week ahead. Before you move on, take a moment to sit with this. Where am I putting pressure on myself to be further ahead? What am I comparing that no longer serves me? And what would change if I trusted my own timing a little more? Which one of these speaks to you most? This week was never about getting somewhere faster. It was about trusting where you are, trusting what is unfolding, and trusting that your life does not need to look like someone else's to be meaningful. Because growth is not always visible, and timing is not always understood, but both can still be trusted. So this week, be gentle with your timeline. Not everything's meant to happen quickly. Some things are unfolding beneath the surface, and some things are still becoming. And some things are worth waiting for. So trust your rhythm. Trust your season. Trust the timing of your life. Because what's meant for you is not running late. It is unfolding in its own perfect time. This is your gentle truths for the week. If this message resonated with you, I truly appreciate your support by liking, commenting, and subscribing to my channel. It helps the space reach others who may need these reminders too. So stay gently aligned, beautiful souls, and I'll meet you here again next week. Till then, take care. Ciao.